All right, hello guys. Welcome back. Uh, Before we start the new concept, let's go over what we learned from the last video one more time because my lessons are kind of like in order where the previous lesson will be built on top by the second by the lesson that will come right after it. So it is very important to have a firm grasp of the first video before learning what we are going to learn in the second one. So, so a quick review on the last lesson was that number one, I would like to emphasize that you guys should draw from your shoulder. So drawing from shoulder means you lock your wrist. Your hand is holding the pen like this, right? Instead of drawing like this, like the way we tend to write, we move the wrist around. We don't do it. You lock the wrist, you lock the elbow. You only move your big muscle group on your shoulder here. You see how my shoulder is moving and my entire arm is frozen. That's what you want to do when drawing. Um, because the reason we need to draw from the shoulder is so that we can make big swings like this. Whereas if I just move my wrist, um, the range of motion that I make is very limited. See that? Um, if you draw from the shoulder, your lines can go like this as well. I know this will be very hard to do because we have been programmed to write more than to write with our wrist for our entire childhood. But this is something that you need to overcome. You need to get rid of this habit of drawing from the wrist if you want to improve your line work when you are sketching. So that's number one. Number two, let me get rid of this. So number two would be make long lines. Oh, actually, number two will be ghost and think before drawing. What did I mean by that? So, ghosting means instead of you put the pen on your paper and then you just draw it like that, you just draw it like aimlessly, you need to uh gauge where your you need to feel it out. You need to feel out the line where the line will go like this by moving back and forth a little bit. One, two. And then when you feel confident that you can do it, then you will make it. You will draw the line. See that? Same thing for curve. I don't just do it like this. I don't do it like this immediately. See that? Don't do that. I want to do this. And I want you to do it too. So see how I move back and forth a little bit like that? Move back and forth. And then once you feel confident, you make the line. Same thing with S curve. I will do it like this first, and then I will execute the line. So by doing that, you can plan your you can plan and visualize your line before you even put it down on paper. So that is what most professionals they don't tell you. They um they don't tell you that the line or the stroke that they make has already been drawn inside their mind. Um, you thought that they think at the same time as when their stroke is put on the paper, right? But it's actually, but I highly doubt that. I feel like professional artists, they already uh draw the line in their mind before it exists on paper. So if you want to get better at drawing, I think that you need to slow yourself down and be really deliberate and think how your line will look before you put it on paper. So so these two are like hand in hand. So you so like number one and number two happens at the same time. You have to control. You have to both draw from the shoulder while thinking before drawing at the same time. So number three is make long lines. So what I mean by making long lines is this like this. This is what you want. This is what you want. This is what you don't want to do. You see how many lines are there? So many people they like to draw like that, chicken scratch. Um, or some people like to do like this, very slow. I will add in make long lines and be fast. Actually, not fast, but I would word it as and be decisive. So these these lines they all show one common thing is indecisiveness. This also tie back to number two, where it happens because we don't think before we draw. We don't know where and how long and what's the direction the line should be. That's why you have to figure out a line as you go. And that's why it becomes like that. But true artists, they understand like where their line should go. That's why they execute it with just one single line. They don't need multiple lines to communicate the same idea, right? So so that's something else you need to keep in mind. Um, another thing that a lot of artists when they are exploring their lines, they really draw from so many lines, right? But you see how many strokes are uniform in just one line. That is because they are still making long lines connecting with each other. They don't make tiny line like this. You see that? So uh so when you see someone sketch, you can see they have so many loose lines, right? Like they don't uniform. But why do their lines look so good? It's because they are using long lines and not short, scratchy lines. Um, hopefully that makes sense. So all three ideas tie hand in hand with each other. Uh, Number four, I think would be uh do this. So practice 5 minutes before drawing. What do you mean? What do I mean by that? So what I meant is that as artists, you guys will be drawing, right? Like drawing anime characters, drawing whatever you want, the landscape, um, fan art. So these are very hard to do. It's not meant to be easy, but y- uh but over time it will get easier. So I think the best way to and the fastest way to control your line is that before every drawing session, you will warm up. So warm up. So when you warm up, you will redo you will do this exercise that I have talked about in the previous video where you go over the lines 8 times after drawing the grid like that. Um, I think another good practice is you make two dots. So we will have a sheet of paper, right? You will make two dots across the paper. You will apply all these points that I talk about on here. You will draw from the shoulder. You will ghost the line, and then you connect the dot across the paper like that. And then you make another two dots, and then you will ghost the line like this. Draw from your shoulder, okay? Don't draw from your wrist. So move your shoulder. Once you feel it, you execute the line like that. It can miss a little bit, but what I need to see is that your lines are like a single stroke instead of being like this. A lot of beginners, they would like to do this kind of thing. Don't do that, okay? So that's a no. So repeat. So from what I know from famous art schools like LCAT or art centers, the students there are made to draw literally 50 pages of just connecting the dots freehand like that. Another thing that I want to point out is that um, explore what works for you. So, what I meant is that uh, explore what angles of drawing that you are comfortable with. So, like my most comfortable angle is drawing this line at this angle, like 45-degree from the left to the right because I am left-handed. Some people might feel more comfortable drawing the line like that in that direction because they are right-handed or in that direction. So each person is different. Uh, e- each person is different, and you should find what works best, like which orientation is good for you. I will also add in rotate the paper. So don't draw from awkward angles. So like if you want to draw the line to be in a certain direction. So because I am left-handed, right? Drawing a line going in this direction is very hard for me. I cannot move my arm up like that. So so I either pull my hand like from this point downward over here like that, or I can rotate the paper and then draw the line in the angle from the angle that I my left hand is comfortable with. Okay, so that's it. So that's the review for this one. So now let's move on to the next uh to the next lesson. Okay. So last time we talked about strokes, right? Like straight line, a C line, and an S line. So that's like level one, two, three. So now we are going to move on to level four and level five, which is circle and ellipses. So so have you ever watched those tutorials where like how to draw a human head and then the step one is already something that you cannot do yet is how to draw a circle. So they will be like step one, draw a circle, and then you will see that professional artist draw a super clean circle, a very well drawn circle, right? Like that. And then they will add other stuff like the jaw, like this. And then you see them draw all the fancy stuff out, right? Like the ear and all that. So, but then you still cannot draw the circle as the step one part. So, so that's the thing. And how do we draw that circle? Uh, the answer is still the same as all these points that we have talked about. So I will show you how to apply that. So, so the steps are still exactly the same as in level one, two, and three, but now you need to but now during the uh ghosting part you have to ghost in a circular motion like this before you draw. So most artists they will draw a circle immediately like that, and then 99% of the time you will fail by doing it. That's because you did not prepare for the circle well. The method to draw those circle that those professional artists that you watch do would be before they draw the circle, they have to ghost the circle in the air a few times. And then when they feel it, they draw it in. You see how this circle is way better than this one? There are still maybe some loose lines like this, but that's okay. It's still a lot better than making this kind of circle, right? Uh, Again, you will ghost before you draw, and then when you feel like you can get a good circle, that's when you press the pencil harder onto the paper. So that this is connected to what I said about um, think before drawing, right? The circle, a well-drawn circle, has already been drawn before you put it on paper. That's why the ghosting method is so powerful. You will rotate your arm. So my motion right now is like this. See how my wrist is not moving? My elbow is not moving, but only my shoulder is moving like that. So when doing it, I am doing this kind of moment. So I will ghost a few times, and then when I feel it, I execute that circle. So this will be level 4 exercise. So level 4 will be you draw a grid like this on your paper, and then within the paper, you will try to fit a circle within this grid. So before you draw, you ghost again. Remember ghosting and draw from the shoulder, okay? I might sound like a broken record, but it is important. So you ghost, take your time with the circle, no need to rush. If you don't feel confident about making the mark, then don't make it. Just keep trying again with this ghosting until you feel like you have it, and then you draw the circle in. Uh, there's also another method that I learned from an artist named Peter Hahn. So he called it true up. So true up. So true up means if your circle is not perfect yet, like that, you can keep going over it to true it up to make it more circular. So like if my circle is like this and I don't like it, I will just redraw over it like that and then true it up. Make it more right, more correct, you know? And also don't be too hard on yourself when this doesn't work out immediately. When I first started out, my circle looks horrible. But I spent 6 months spending 5 minutes every day drawing circles like this. And then this becomes some sort of like my second nature. So this is a little bit of gap, right? So my goal is was trying to have my circle meet, like fit kind of like right into this grid over here. So I will try again. That's a little bit better, even though there's still some gap over here. Oh, so I will do it like that. You see how I still haven't like fully mastered it yet? That's why we need to practice it every day. So ghosting, when we feel it, we execute it on the paper like that. You can try it on smaller size too. So drawing smaller circle will be easier. Maybe you can start out with drawing smaller circles like that, like that. You ghost. When you feel it, you execute it. And then you drew up the circles like that. So just make an entire page of circles and then do this every single day. Remember, ghosting and draw from the shoulder. So that's level 4. And once you have level 4, you can move on to level 5, where we'll be drawing ellipses. So ellipses just means the circle, but it just means oval. I, in my opinion, ellipses is the hardest shape to draw freehand like that. The method is still the same, but now the motion is kind of different. So instead of making this motion, that round motion, I will have to make it thinner by making this oval motion. But I still ghost a lot. And when I feel it, I will draw that. Sorry for the lagging over there. Again, I ghost it. I ghost it. I can make a kind of fatter. Oh, sorry for all those lagging. I can make a fatter ellipsis like that. Oh, there's a lot of glitches with my city like that. Still the same concept. You ghost and then you draw. So for the exercise of level 5, I would like you to still make the grid like that. Then you will start drawing the ellipses again, ghosting and execute the ellipses. Try to make it fit inside the grid like that, like that, like that. You can also try to make tilted ellipses like this. Oh, it keeps glitching, guys. Let me see if I can reduce the resolution. Uh, so I will reduce the resolution to 200 so that it won't glitch as hard. So I ghost, then I draw it. Sorry, I was trying to lower the resolution so that it won't lag so hard, affecting you guys' experience. Ghost, and then draw it. I can rotate the paper and then draw a different angle like that. Ghost before drawing. Ghost before drawing. And keep ghosting. Ghost. When I feel it, I draw it in. You can think of your arm as a drill. You know how the drill already spins before it drills a hole. So the drill doesn't wait until it touches the wood to create a hole, right? The drill is already moving, and then when it touches the wall, it will create that motion. So our pen and arm is like a drill. We are already spinning before we touch the paper. That's why we can make that good ellipses like that. So with all these five levels, drawing straight line, drawing C line, drawing S line, um, and then drawing ellipse and circles, you will have quite a few exercise you can work on to improve your line work. Uh, so the best, so as I said before, it is highly encouraged that you guys practice this 5 minutes every day or before any drawing session that you have to warm up. And over time, like a few months, at least you will start to feel that you can control your arm and your pen and then make a better sketch because your lines are more, as I said, decisive. So so that's all. um Once again, you can contact me for question at this email over here. Oh, It's glitching again. Wait, actually, I think I gave you guys the wrong email last time. So it's nguyen at fullcall.edu. And also shout out to the page drawabox.com for teaching me all this knowledge that I am sharing you right now. And thank you to Professor Philip Dimitriadis at Fullerton College. So Fullerton College is the school where I am teaching and learning art at. Highly recommend checking out their art program and talking to Phil. Phil is like my mentor, and then most of my drawing knowledge comes from him as well. Uh, so that's all. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys can tackle this assignment well. Remember, these are meant to be hard. Okay, it's never meant to be easy. So if you so don't be too hard on yourself if the result don't look like like what you expected it to be. Just make sure that just focus more on the process, whether you have stick to these rules that I put out. The result will come with time. Okay, so and if you have any question, don't hesitate to email me at this address down here, and I would be more than happy to have a Zoom meeting with you one on one, free of charge, uh, to help you as much as I can. That's all. Thank you so much.